At some point in your life, you're going to realize something uncomfortable. The people you thought that would always be there won't be. And that's not bitterness, that's just reality. Because the strongest version of you is the one that learns how to rely on themselves. Growing up, we're taught to depend on approval, support, reassurance. And while all those things feel good, they can also make you feel weak if you rely on them too much. Because what happens when they're not there? What happens when no one claps for you, when no one checks on you, nobody believes in what you're doing? Do you stop or do you keep going? There comes a moment where you have to make a shift from who's going to help me to, you know what, I got me. And that shift, it changes everything. Because now your progress is no longer dependent on people's moods, opinions, or availability. It's built on something stronger, yourself. Here's the truth people avoid. People are not consistent, not because they're bad, but because they're human. They have their own problems, their own priorities, and their own distractions. So expecting someone to always motivate you, support you, show up for you is unrealistic. And if your stability depends on that, you'll always feel unbalanced. There's a different type of confidence that comes from self-reliance. It's quiet, it's not loud or attention-seeking. It's the kind of energy that says, I'll figure it out. Even when things don't go as planned, you don't panic, you just adjust. Because you trust yourself for whatever comes your way. That's power. Some of you are waiting for the right person, the right opportunity, and the right support. But what if that moment never comes? What if the reason you're stuck is because you're waiting for someone else to do what you're supposed to do? At some point, you have to stop waiting and start moving. Even if it's messy, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't have it all figured out. Relying on yourself isn't just a mindset, it's a relationship. And just like any other relationship, it's built on trust. You build that trust by doing what you said you would do, showing up even when it's hard, keeping promises to yourself. Because every time you don't, you teach yourself you can't be trusted. But every time you follow through, you reinforce something powerful. I can count on me. Now let's be real. There's a phase in this journey that feels lonely. When you start relying on yourself more, you might notice fewer people around, less validation, more silence. And that can be uncomfortable at first, but there's a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness feels like lack. Solitude, that's where you build. That's where you learn yourself, and that's where you grow without distraction. When you rely on yourself, you stop treating people like they're your foundation. They become additions, not necessities. And that changes your relationships. You're no longer chasing, begging, or overextending because you're not trying to fill the void anymore. You've already built stability within yourself. Life is going to hit you, that's not a question. But when you rely on yourself, you handle it differently. You don't fall apart easily, and you don't need 10 people to reassure you. You take a moment, you process it, and you keep moving. Because deep down, you know, I've got through things before. I'll get through this too. This might sound harsh, but it's so freeing when you understand it. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to magically fix your life. No one's going to do the work for you. And once you accept that, you stop waiting. You stop making excuses and you stop giving your power away. Be the person you're looking for. The one who motivates you, the one that pushes you, the one that believes in you, and the one that holds you accountable. Talk to yourself differently. Move differently. Show up for yourself the way you wish others would. Because at the end of the day, you are the one person you will always have. Relying on yourself doesn't mean you don't need anyone. It means you don't depend on anyone. There's a difference. You can still love people. You can still build with people. But your strength, it doesn't come from them. It comes from you. So stop looking around for someone to save you. Look in the mirror. That's who you've been waiting for. And once you truly understand that, you become unstoppable. See you in the next one.